All right, another very tangible and quick strategy that can be used to address low-level behaviors and even give positive descriptive feedback is this idea, again, based on the survey feedback that you gave to Erica Ebert as a group, that we want to explore this idea of affective, with an A, I statements. And so this is not typically a normal or second nature way of talking, especially in the moment, which is why it requires some practice and some intentionality. But the way that, again, it clicked for me is when I flipped it from thinking about giving negative feedback to giving positive reinforcing feedback. And so for an instructor, we've learned through our education that we don't just say, hey, good job. It's better to give descriptive feedback. Gee, Sally, I love the way that you are doing your text to response writing today. You are being so thoughtful, you're referring back to the text, you're using evidence, you're on task, you're really engaged. I love this for you and I'm excited for you. Please continue doing this every day moving forward. Great job. That's much different than saying good job. The same is true when we're wanting to address and, again, teach desired behaviors if a student or even a peer is exhibiting less than desirable behavior. And these I statements have a bit of a formulaic response. We're not robots, right? So you don't have to follow the formula verbatim, but it does help give you a context. So in the handout that you have, there's a couple of examples. And we always start off with an I feel, right? So we're taking the onus off of somebody else, the student in most cases, and expressing how we feel about it. I feel blank when you blank because, and I might even add at the end, what I need is. So a really easy example. If I'm teaching a class and two kids are in the back corner talking when I'm giving direct instruction, and I'm guilty, I've done this before and I'll probably do it again. It's just firsthand nature. Hey, stop talking, right? That might catch their attention. They might show them I'm frustrated. I might have showed some affect. However, I'm willing to bet this other way of responding, which I'll model in a second, is more likely to have the desired change in behavior than my first response. So instead of that quick kind of snappy one, I could say, hey, John and Bill, I'm feeling really frustrated right now. I'm trying to teach and you're in the back talking. And when you're doing that, you're distracted and you're distracting me, and your colleagues or your peers, your students around you can't hear me give this important instruction. So what I need for you to do is to save that talking for later, maybe in the hallway or at lunch, so we can all get back to learning and doing class right now. So a much different way of responding than the, hey, stop talking. Both have their place, right? But again, if we're trying to teach desired behaviors and elicit a change in responsive behavior, this is probably a much more effective way. So what you'll do is go through the packet in your group. It can be informal. There's examples of negative and positive situations where you're either dealing with a student or even with a colleague and a peer. And take that first statement on the left and try and flip it into one of these affective I statements. So I feel when you, because what I need is. And work through that. It's gonna be awkward at first, right? Don't be embarrassed. It might feel a little clunky at first, but the more you do it, the more it becomes second nature. And again, it just gives a much more empathetic, but also direct explanation of what it is that you need and expect to move forward and why. And so that kind of just, again, gives us a much better chance of getting the desired result, change in behavior. All right, have fun trying.